I was a really skinny kid, and I don't mean just like a regular, oh, he's kind of skinny. I mean buying extra smalls and slim fit at H&M just to feel strong and buff, kind of skinny. And I'm just gonna save you guys some time if you're just trying to really get through this video. Basically, at the end of the day, all I did was eat more. That's literally the key to getting bigger and gaining weight, is just eating more. Now, if you want to know a little bit more details and my story and how you can do that, a little bit more efficiently, then you can go ahead and watch the rest of the video. Now, like I mentioned before, I was a really skinny kid, and it was always hard to see other people who were bigger than me, who were stronger than me, and I always wondered, what exactly are they doing that I'm not doing that is causing them to get bigger and stronger, and I'm simply just staying the same? Now, that's not to say that I wasn't getting bigger. Obviously, over the years, I would get bigger, but it wasn't like to an extent that I wanted to. I was always skinnier and smaller than pretty much everyone else in my grade. In fact, pretty much every time we went to the doctor, they were saying, hey dude, you're a little bit smaller, you should probably get bigger, you're a little bit underweight. And it was always discouraging to hear that, because I knew that, but to hear it reinforced to the doctor just kind of made it really sad, honestly. So last year I made the decision, okay, I'm not gonna play any more games. I'm gonna actually buckle down and do this for real. And literally, this is the one thing that helped me get to where I was, and it was eating more, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Now, that might seem like too easy and like there's more to it, but that's pretty much all there is. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but the basics of nutrition, the basics of how you lose and gain weight comes down to caloric intake, or how many calories you're eating in a day. Now, to lose weight, you need to be in a caloric deficit, meaning once you figure out what it takes to maintain exactly where you are, you need to eat a little bit under that, and your body's gonna say, hey, we don't have enough calories to support Eric's current weight. We need to lose some fat so that we can continue to function normally. Now, on the opposite of that, you're gonna be in a caloric surplus, which is where you eat more calories than it takes to maintain where you currently are. So your body's gonna be like, hey, he's eating a lot more Cheerios. I don't know why I said Cheerios. Let's go ahead and add some weight, because he's giving us a lot more than we need. So we're just gonna go ahead and add some weight. Now, not all of that is going to be muscle. Some of it will be muscle, but some of it is going to be fat as well, which I was very well okay with when I started this journey. So for instance, for me, when I started this journey all the way back last year, I knew that, okay, I need to figure out exactly what my maintenance is. And for me, my maintenance was around 2,000 calories. I could be off, it's been such a long time, but I knew it was around that area because I was around 125 pounds at that time. And I knew if I really wanted to gain weight, I had to figure out exactly what I needed to maintain where I was and eat a little bit above that. So that's what I did for that first couple of months. I figured out, hey, okay, the calories that I need to maintain exactly where I am right now, or 125, is around 2,000 calories. I'm gonna eat around 2,000, maybe even 2,200 calories so that I can start gaining some weight. And that definitely started to do it. At first, I didn't really see anything, and then I started to realize that my lifts were getting a little bit stronger, and then I was getting a little bit bigger. The scale was starting to go up, and basically what I did was I just tracked all my calories. Now, one of my favorite apps is called Lose It. I honestly like that a lot better than MyFitnessPal, and it's because MyFitnessPal, maybe I'm just doing it wrong, but the way it makes you track calories and the way you can measure things out, it only lets you do it in serving size, which is very frustrating because you have to do a whole bunch of math to get it to exactly what you want it. And Lose It, it's exactly like MyFitnessPal, except you can do it with grams and ounces and tablespoons, and it's way more minute, and you can fine tune it a lot better than MyFitnessPal. So I usually like to use Lose It. It's just way better for me. So what I would do was, I didn't do and track my calories for the entirety of this bulk, but for the first couple of months, I knew, okay, I need to make sure that I'm tracking and making sure that I'm actually knowing exactly what's going into my body for a certain amount of time so that I understand it a little bit more. And once you start doing that, you start to understand how much calories are in things, like how calorie dense peanut butter is, how calorie dense oils are, all these other different types of things. You really start to open your eyes once you start tracking calories. Now, I advise skinny people to track your calories at the beginning, but not to do it in the long run, because once you start on that path, you can get really lost and start tracking every single thing that you're putting into your body. And the reality is, you can't track everything perfectly. There are going to be things that you miscalculate. that you don't take into account, that you just simply miss because it's not an exact science. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure you're around 200 or 300 calories above your maintenance. Now, if you don't know how to calculate your maintenance, you can calculate that in the Lose It app or MyFitnessPal. It's really, really easy. And you just want to make sure you're eating above that maintenance, around 200 to 300 calories. So another one of the things that I did was I started having a lot of calorie dense shakes, because you can eat a lot, but some people, it's really hard for them to choke down so much food that it might be easier for you to just drink the calories. In fact, that's actually what I prefer to do, is to just drink it, because it digests really fast, it takes no effort, and it just goes through you really fast. So one of the things that I would do was make a really, really calorie dense shake, and I would put in it milk, I would put Greek yogurt, I would put peanut butter or almond butter, a scoop of protein powder, and a few other things. And all together, the shake would come out to around 1,100 calories. And I would eat this at the very end of the day. And I really don't advise that, because not often, even to this day, I still wake up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom because it was just a lot on my stomach. But that was what I did for a large portion of last year to get to where I am right now. If you want to know the recipe, I think I have it somewhere. I might have screenshotted it a while ago, but it's a really easy recipe. It's quite a few ingredients, and you might have to go to the store a couple times, but it's well worth it, because it's one of the many reasons why I was able to get to where I am. Now, as far as nutrition goes, like I said, I made sure that I was eating a lot more. I was putting in a lot more liquid calories in case you can't really eat a lot of food, or it's hard for you to eat a lot of food to get the caloric intake. Another one of the things I did was training. Training was one of those things that I was going, which is weird because this is the opposite for a lot of people. I was training way too hard in the gym for what my body can handle. And when you're already at a caloric deficit, and when you're already at such low of a maintenance, your body literally can't keep up with the workouts, and your training will start to suffer. And I definitely experienced that. My lifts were never going up. I wasn't getting stronger. I already wasn't getting bigger. So it was just really depressing to go to the gym week after week after week for years and not see any results. My lifts were the same for years, maybe going up like 10, 20 pounds on squat over a few years, but like it was really bad. My lifts were extremely weak. And once I started bulking and gaining more weight, my lift started to skyrocket. Like for me, I was able to, and this might not sound like a lot, but for me it was a lot. I was able to dumbbell press 70 pounds in each hand for like 5-6 reps. And I still feel like I had a lot left in the tank versus, like last year when I started this journey, I was maybe able to get like 4 or 5 reps with 50-pound dumbbells. So the strength gains are definitely there. And obviously, if you follow me on Instagram, the look and aesthetic is definitely there too. I've been gaining a lot of weight. So those are the things that I would advise. I don't want to make this a super long video. It's just a simple journey of how I got to where I am today. Literally just start eating more. Find out what your caloric intake is. Find out what it takes to maintain, and eat above that. If it's going to be hard for you to eat above that with regular food, just try to get liquid calories. There are some recommendations that you're seeing right now, like the Ensure or just the shake that I recommended to you guys. There's a bunch of different ways that you can get that caloric intake so that you can actually start gaining weight. And the other thing that I did was I stopped training as hard because I was pushing myself to absolute failure all the time, and it didn't give my body enough time to actually recuperate and not kill my central nervous system every single time I went to lift. And when you have excess calories, it's actually a lot easier for you to push yourself because you have that excess. There's much more calories for you to use. There's much more carbs. There's more energy. It's just a lot easier for you to push yourself when you have the excess of calories. And the other thing that I did was I started to rest and take my rest a lot more seriously. A lot of the thing about our culture is they like to hustle, hit, never quit, grind, wake up at 4 a.m. You need to do whatever is best for you. If you can't wake up at 4 a.m. and do fasted cardio and grind, then don't do it. Your body needs rest. When you're sleeping, that's when the muscle is actually being built, not when you're working out or eating, or even though eating increases protein synthesis and things like that. You need to make sure that you're actually resting, not getting like 5-6 hours. You need to be getting like maybe a solid 8 hours of REM deep sleep, not 6 hours. And that's one of the other things that I really start to take seriously. And because I gained 30 pounds in like the last year, I want to say I was gaining around like 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds every single year. I mean, every single month. I wouldn't recommend that because a lot of it was, or not a lot of it, but some of it was fat and it's being held in my stomach. I would advise maybe like 0.5 pound, maybe 1 pound a month, just because that's a lot of a steadier rate, because you can only use so many excess calories to build muscle in the end. The rest of it is just gonna go to fat. So make sure you're eating 200, 300 calories above your maintenance. That's what I was doing. I was actually probably eating around 400 to 500. And yeah, that's pretty much what I did to get 30 pounds heavier. And to be honest, I'm still using these tips today. I'm still using these tips because I want to continue to bulk until I'm like, you know what? I don't like the composition. I'm going to go ahead and cut, or I might cut for the summer. I really don't know yet, but I'm going to continue to bulk. As of right now, I'm around 153. I want to get to 155. 155 is already looking like it's going to be really nice in terms of composition, so I might just push to 160. But these are the tips that I'm going to use to get there. So hopefully how I got there and what I used to get there helped you guys, and you guys can use it in your tips and tricks. Leave a comment down below if you guys want to know a little bit more into how I did it. Hopefully I don't miss anything. I think that was pretty much everything. Let me know if you guys have any questions down below, you want me to cover something. And yeah, make sure you like the video and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.